Okay, where am I at? Okay. All right, let me see. Let's try to develop a formula for given. So general formula for given. So probability of A given B. So what's going to go on the bottom?
Probability of B.
Yeah, it's always the given thing. It's given that it's B, so how many things could happen? The stuff in B. Let me see if anybody has a problem with something. See here? Why was the bottom 51? So no, they said no. 51 people said no. 50 women. So it's always the given thing that determines what the bottom is going to be. What goes on the top?
Probability of A and B.
Yeah. Well, why did I put a 28 here? Because there's 28 men who said yes. If I know the person was a man, what's the only way they could have also said yes if it's a man who said yes? So if I know it's in B, what's the only way it could be in A also is if it's in A and B. So again, huh?
One more time.
Okay, a visual. So here's A, here's B. I tell you that B happened. I know that B happened. How could A also have happened? It has to be in there. So how many things match A, given that B happened? This does, that's the top. Out of how many things could have happened? There. Given that it's B, so the things in B go down to the bottom. The only way it could also be A is if it's A and B, because I know that B happened. What do I throw out? All this shit. That has no chance. Because it's not in B. B happened. If it's not in there, it has no chance. Now again, you notice how the formula is more difficult to get down than the actual just work. If I have something to count. Will I always have something to count? No. Shit. So let me say this. It's going to come back over and over and over again. Or is basically add. Why don't I just say or is add? Because sometimes I have to adjust it and subtract something off if I counted something twice. So or is basically addition. We still have to figure out what the hell and is. Yes?
Why did the probability of A and B on the top?
Because the only way, like right here, did I put all the women up top? Why not? Why can't I put all 50 women up top?
They all didn't say no.
Because I told you that the person said no. So it's the only way they could be included is if they're a woman and said no. Bam. The top will always be that subgroup. I have to throw these women out. Shout Sarah, I'm sorry. Kick them out the room, whatever you want to say. Right. I'm not the Golden Globes, I don't have to be that careful. Anybody watch the Golden Globes? Yeah? I like it. Natalie Portman, some gangster shit right there. Right. Okay, if you didn't watch it, you should probably see the highlights at least. Any questions right now? And again, how many times have we gone over this stuff? Once. Okay, then give yourself a break. Stop looking at me like you want to kill me, and just let it sink in your head. We're going to do some more examples. It's crazy. Let's right now figure out a formula for and I think once we're done with that, we'll take a break. Now, I'm going to give you two examples about what and might be. One of them is kind of like a serious example, and the other one is a pretty silly example. Okay, so I'm going to start with the serious one. Unfortunately, the space shuttle has exploded twice now. Now, I used to live in Florida, and when I was a young dude, I wanted to go to space camp. I was all about, I still sort of am, but I was all, oh, dude. And we would go out. If I was at home, we'd go out. If I was at school, they would take us out to watch the shuttle take off. I was in Florida. We could see it go. It was crazy. It was awesome. One of the few good things about Florida. Sorry, Florida. Now, there's one time in '86, the first time that it blew up. For some reason, we didn't go out. I can't remember what it was. It was like, maybe it was stormy or whatever. And I heard later, and I still remember, I was in English class. I still remember the room. It was sort of like, where were you when? Not quite, like not quite 9/11 level, but still, it's up there. And I remember, I was crying. It was terrible. Why the hell did it blow up? And you guys hopefully are aware of this fact, that the space shuttle, we used to have these things called space shuttles, and they blew up a couple times because we got a little arrogant, thinking we knew everything. The first time it blew up was because of these things called O-rings. And that basically you have a fuel line, and you have these, they work as valves. It's supposed to let the fuel only go one direction. It was really icy that morning, so they had frozen over. You guys still with me? I like it. You guys are like, shit, this is morbid shit, man. This happened. It's all about probabilities. Now, why do you think they had several of these O-rings in there?
Probability that one went down, the other one.
Yes. Same reason why you might have several locks on your door if you live in a bad part of town. You're like, okay, you can get in this one lock, but there's a whole different kind of lock. I'm not going to make it easy on you. Oh, shit, how many locks do they have in this? Right? You're trying to increase the chance, or decrease the chance that they get in, increase the chance that you're safe. Why would you have a couple alarm clocks go off the day of your final?
Wake up.
To increase the chance that you get up, that one of them doesn't just not work or something, right? I had two set, they both didn't work. Oh my God, that's weird. I love that. All right, you guys, everybody still with me? This is to have a contingency plan, to have a backup system, right? So if I had 3 of these in a row, and let's say that, just for the sake of making this easy to think about, let's say that normally they have a 1% chance of failing. So what's the only way that the whole thing could fail is if all 3 failed. So I want this one to fail, and this one to fail, and this one to fail. Now, if it was like or and I just added, that would so suck. Because then if I put 3, now that chance would be 3% chance. Why would they put 3 then? That doesn't make any sense. So and can't be add. What does of mean with percentages and fractions? Multiplication. So 1% of the time that this fails, this will also fail. 1% of the time that this fails, this will also fail. So 1% of 1% of 1%. So 0.01 times 0.01 times 0.01. Uh-oh. So what's 1 times 1 times 1? 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember when you multiply decimals, you have to count the decimal places, and that tells you how far back to go? Why the shit does that happen? What is 0.01 as a fraction? 1 over 100. What's 1 over 100 times 1 over 100 times 1 over 100? 1 over 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 1 over a million. So there's a 1 out of a million chance under normal conditions that all 3 of these would fail. If you're sitting on the space shuttle, does it make you feel better? Yes. And I'm like, maybe put 1 more. But still, I mean, that's pretty damn good odds, right? Good as far as it ain't gonna happen. Now, on that day, they iced over, so if they didn't work correctly, so the probability they fail went way up, each of them, so they did all fail. And that's what happened. And the fuel went the wrong way, so the whole thing blew up. And that's basically what happened. All right? All right. I'm sorry I brought everybody down. It happened a long time ago. It's okay. That one did. The other one's a whole different situation. All right, here's a silly example, just to kind of get us out. That's why I did this one first.
Okay.
Here's a silly example. Let's say, and this one's not exactly perfect mathematically, and I don't care. Let's say I'm going to join a fraternity, right? Fraternity. Thankfully, I don't have to say it correctly. To join. And they're going to lightly haze me, not anything that would get them in trouble. I got to walk down this long hallway, and every third step I take, somebody slaps me in that cheek. Right? And every fifth step I take, somebody slaps you in that cheek. So what's the probability somebody slaps you on this cheek?
3 out of, oh,
How many times have they slapped me for how many steps?
1 out of 3.
1 out of 3. And what's probably somebody slaps you on this cheek? 1 out of 5. How often will they slap me on both cheeks?
1 out of 2.
Every 15th step, go like that, right? You guys with me?
Okay.
I get a little, Home Alone shit going. So what's 1/3 times 1/5? 1/15. If you know math, don't look too deeply into it. I just like that as an example.
Math returns?
No, they're not talking about. They're just slapping the shit out of me. They don't care about the math. That's geek Jeff. Let me think about this. Bam. Oh, bam. Yeah, that would be what I was doing. All right. That's another example of why and is basically multiply. The whole purpose of those two examples was to show you why it makes sense that an and question is multiply. When you multiply two numbers that are less than 1, is the answer bigger or smaller than both numbers? Smaller. 0.4 times 0.3 is 0.12. And what's supposed to happen with and? And is supposed to be the mean bouncer. It's supposed to decrease the probability you get in somewhere, the probability you get a scholarship, right? So that's why it makes sense that you multiply probabilities. Probabilities are all less than 1. So the answer is going to get smaller than either one of them alone. All right, let me let all that sink in. Okay. All right. If you're the kind of student that just wants me to tell you how to do shit, I feel so bad for you. Oh, it's too bad. I like you to understand why the hell you do shit. So here's the formula. Now we're going to develop the formula. Now that I've talked about why it makes sense that it's multiplication, we're actually going to use algebra to figure out the formula. Because I already have the probability of and in a formula we developed. Somewhere, don't I? It's here too, but this is less useful because it's got or and. Here's the thing that's got and in it. How do you solve this for and?
Multiply.
Multiply both by
Is that division?
Multiply by the probability
Yeah.
of D.
That's division. So multiply by?
probability of B.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you'll be done. Yes. So your probability of A and B equals probability of B times probability of A given B. Let's see if you guys can handle this.
Oh, you will be.
What's happening? Everybody all right?
Oh, okay.
So what do we do? Ooh, we
Probability of
multiply
A.
that. Ooh. But do you realize we just made a formula for and?
Probability of B squared.
Let's see if you guys can handle this. Probability of A and B is also probability of A times probability of B given A. Because what's the probability of B given A? It's probability of A and B divided by the probability of A. So either one of those ways of looking at it works. All right. Ooh, you look so excited. We haven't done a problem with this directly that just counts stuff. So don't forget, the formula is always a little worse than a counting situation. I can just count shit then. So we're going to do some examples where I just count some shit, and I'm going to show you how, hey, we actually did this.
I mean, that would be over.
I just wanted to mathematically get this one first,
Could be over A plus.
and then we can see why it makes sense later.
So like
Yes.
with the slapping steps thing, basically look at that and every 15 steps. You look and say, okay,
What
this
is
all like the fifth step, 10th step, 15th step, that happens.
Yes, yes.
And then once you look at those, on which one of those does the other one also have?
Yes.
Or basically the-
Yes. So don't think about that too deeply. If you go a little bit deeper than that, it'll all fall apart. It's a nice visual.
Oh,
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
All right, you guys, let's take a break, huh? Want to take a break? Come back at 20 past. Yes. Could you do me a favor? What's the probability of A? B given A. It would be the probability of B and A divided by the probability of A, right?
Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah, so just A times this, and then B and A is the same thing as A and B.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, anybody not get their test back? Make corrections. So I'm going to let you read it down, basically make corrections and then give the X.
Yesterday I was very confused in the test. I was studying well.
I'll give you a chance to get up to 55 with corrections. And then they can give it a test. We'd have both of you guys separated but up in front too. Yeah, it's okay. How different. I know, but you still can't help each other. Okay. The zero is just another number. Yeah. Not a big deal. Now this is the part, this kind of thing. This is from a different, this is from his version of the test. It might be out of state. Is it? Yeah. No, it's not. So it's probably. You got it? Oh, it's just too thick. Oh, don't put homework and quiz corrections together. Yes. That's what. If you do corrections and get them all right, that's what it will be. Yes. Because right now it's like. Yeah. So I'm giving you a few extra points. Okay. No, you have until the oh, the quiz? Yeah, it's late, so you can do it to me as soon as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, so the quiz on homework.
Oh yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then they have to talk about, this is the formula. So, this is my formula. And I put this, some notes.
Yeah, you can have notes on the formula sheet. Yeah.
No, I put that in class.
But how could I know that? You see what I'm
But
saying?
it doesn't mean anything. It's meaning,
Exactly, it's words. No, come on, go ahead.
doesn't mean anything.
No, I can't. I have no way of knowing when you put that down. And I told people you can't have any words except mid-range on your formula sheet. So, yeah.
So, minus one, how many points does it? Because you have
2.
2.
Yeah, 2 points. Yeah.
Okay. And what is wrong? Just apply the formula.
Yeah, what? 785? No. That doesn't come out to be 0. You've got to check to see. So if you would have actually added these up, it would have showed you something was wrong. So that's not 20, right? 30 minus 20 is 10. And I said you round to 1 decimal place, and you rounded to 0 decimal places. Right? So several little things that happen.
Yeah, it's not 30 minus 20, right?
Yeah. And see, if you would have actually added these up, they don't make 0. It would have showed you something was wrong. Yeah, yeah. Just putting 0 doesn't make it true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Couple questions.
Oh. Turn this off.